The Seahawks hit the road and head cross-country to Lucas Oil Stadium for the regular season opener. What's going on, 12's Jackie Montgomery with your Week 1 game preview. It is finally here. Well, in 2020, the Seahawks went 12-4 and captured the NFC West title, but now going into 2021, they are hungry and they want more. Their first test will be the Indianapolis Colts. Under fourth-year head coach Frank Reich, the Colts went 11-5 last season and bring back a majority of the team that earned a wild card spot in the playoffs.
This is the chance for us to get this thing kicked off. It's exciting to be here. Can't wait to see the day's work and see what happens on just this day, and then we just crank one day at a time and take it to the weekend and know that we're getting ready for a really good club. A really well-oiled machine. All phases of their game is good, so it's a championship matchup for us. We got to play championship football.
The biggest change for the Colts in 2021 is a new quarterback in Carson Wentz. The 2017 NFL Player of the Year is coming off a rough season, tying his career low of just 16 touchdown passes while setting a new career high with 15 interceptions, which led the NFL. Wentz missed much of Colts training camp recovering from a foot injury, but returned to practice this week.
The personnel around him is going to be different, but I would assume that the offense is going to be pretty similar to the one. I think that's the reason why he came back to Indy, because he had a lot of success with Frank Reich. So you'll see a lot of RPOs, a lot of movement. They have a great running game that's going to complement some of their play action stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to move him out of the pocket unless he's still hurt. And, get the ball out of his hands, and he's going to find receivers. I think he's really good at getting the ball out of his hands, making some good reads. It'd be a lot different than the film that we're watching, Phillip Rivers, because, he's had, so much experience, and so he's calling out plays and things of that nature. So I think it'll be fun. You definitely have to be conscious of him taking off if he doesn't have anything.
Wentz going to the Colts reunites him with Frank Reich, who was his offensive coordinator with the Philadelphia Eagles, winning a Super Bowl together in 2017.
They were hitting on all cylinders, he had an extraordinarily efficient year, big numbers, touchdowns to picks. They were creative, seemed to really play to his strengths, and had a great supporting cast around them to be a champion like that. But that's what they have again. And again, I can only wonder about the energy that they have about going forward. I think they're pretty excited about it.
Wentz will be missing the Colts' leader in receiving yards last year in T.Y. Hilton, who recently went on IR with a neck injury. But there is a young group of receivers looking to make an impact in his place.
They're pretty good. You got to give them a lot of credit for what they've been able to accomplish. Really solid, good catchers, smart. They do a great job of getting explosive plays, catching the ball and running after catch. So again, it's going to be a challenge for us to keep them contained.
The Colts running back stable has a lot of depth and versatility. Marlon Mack is coming back from a season-ending ACL injury suffered last year after rushing for over 1,000 yards in 2019. Nyheim Hines is just as effective with his legs as he is with his hands, leading the team in receptions last season. They also have a physical back in second-year player Jonathan Taylor, who rushed for over 1,100 yards and a team-high 11 touchdowns last year as a rookie.
Both those guys, they're just an explosive play waiting to happen. And with the speed that they have, sometimes guys run really good times and you don't notice it. You notice it with these two guys. Both these guys have rocket acceleration, and they're both strong enough to break tackles and make the most of a play that isn't necessarily a good play. Those are fantastic players.
Looking at the Colts defense, it ranked 8th in total defense last season, riding the strength of their run defense, which allowed just over 90 yards per game. Up front, they have one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL in Deforest Buckner, who led the team with 9.5 sacks and earned All-Pro honors.
Very productive pass rushers. Obviously, Deforest Buckner is their premier guy. We're very familiar with him from his time in San Francisco. Kwity Paye, the rookie they have, I haven't seen much from him, but he's been productive in the preseason. You got to respect everybody. You know what I mean? They've been very productive. They play very fast. They blitz a lot. Darius Leonard is someone you have to account for. So they're very fast team. You can tell everyone on the team can run. So we're expecting that.
The Colts have another All-Pro on defense in linebacker Darius Leonard, who earned first-team All-Pro honors for the second time in 3 years. This past season, he recorded 132 tackles, good for top 10 in the NFL.
Darius is one of the best players in football, obviously. He's really special, man. Just watching his film, his highlights, it's crazy to see all the things he can do, man. It's pretty spectacular to watch him. I talk about watching guys, and watching teams. And anytime the Colts are on, you want to watch him play. So it's cool. So yeah, I know it'll be a great battle. Got a lot of respect for him and really all of those guys. Those guys are really talented. They've had a great year last year, so they got a lot of things that they can do. So we got to be ready. Got to be on our A game and play great ball.
Now let's focus on the Seahawks. As we all know, the Seahawks will be debuting a new offense and some new faces that fans have seen small glimpses of in the preseason. One thing Pete Carroll is eager to see play out is the chemistry between Russell Wilson and a guy who isn't even on the field, new offensive coordinator Shane Waldron.
I think that for us this year is we want to execute in every way, in all the different ways we can do it. We got a great offense, we got great offensive weapons, we got a great line up front, we got running backs, we got a lot of things that we can do. So for us, it's using all of our versatility and using it at a high level. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about what we can bring to the table. At the end of the day, all the practice, all the preparing, that's what leads up to the game. And we're here. And the good thing is we get to go perform it and put on a show, hopefully, and just throughout the whole season. And so I think that's just kind of our mentality, and hopefully we can be the best offense in football.
On defense, the Seahawks will be looking to pick up where they left off last season when they led the NFL in key categories like sacks and points per game allowed over the tail half of the year.
All of us are itching to hit somebody and really take them to the ground. So I'm pretty sure they're excited just like we are. And, I'm ready to go out there and hit. And we can be physical just like they can.
One key area to focus on is who starts at cornerback. The coaching staff has kept the starters close to the vest. With new cornerbacks being added to the roster in recent weeks, the competition for the role is up for grabs.
The guys have been playing, pretty solid. I think the guys that have been stepping in and our competition have been really good. And we had a new fluxing of new guys as of late. But during the camp, it was pretty solid. Guys that were playing and competing. And now that we're getting closer to the season, we're kind of honing in on the guys that we're feeling pretty good about.
Well, there will be a lot of things to keep your eye on and a lot of things to be excited about as your favorite team takes the field this Sunday. Set your alarm clocks though, folks. The kickoff is set for 10 a.m. Pacific. You can watch it live on Q13 Fox, or as always, listen to it on the Seahawks Radio Network. And if you're not going to the game but you want that game day experience, you can head over to Lumen Field for the kickoff viewing party. For more details, you can head over to Seahawks.com/viewing party.